What is good, Oak Life fam? It is not Craig today. Ooh, what is our joint name? Legri, Gracia. I don't know what our joint name is, but it is Leslie and Greg and Leslie, reporting to you live from Virtual Land. You hear the music in the background from Virtual Land. And today's Roots and Branches, it's gonna be a little different. You see a new face. You see a lovely face on the screen, right? Chris is on vacation. And today you have myself, one of the pastors of Oak Life, and the board chair. My boss signs my checks. No, I'm just playing, but in all seriousness. Yeah, so we're going to be hearing a little bit about some board chair stuff, a little behind the scenes action of Oak Life, if you will. So without further ado, Leslie, how you doing today? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, and I was happy to be invited. Like, look at this. Hey.
I know, balling. I like the way your outfit matches the decor. Did you do that on purpose? You just knew. You knew.
Well, it actually matches my nail polish. If you can tell, I tend to color coordinate.
We got to stay coordinated. I get it. So before you being a board chair, all the craziness that's been happening with Oak Life and the Bay and all that good stuff, I want to hear a bit about what that's been like. But before I do, if there's any new viewers that may not know you as well, I want to know what kind of brought you to Oak Life in general, and then what led you to take on the task of board chair.
Yeah. Well, my partner and I were looking for an affirming church, and we were doing some Google searching and some church hopping, and she really wanted a place where she felt like she could grow, she can feel accepted. She didn't have to be afraid to be a part of a community, and she can ultimately be herself. And from the moment we walked in the door of Oak Life, we had this amazing greeting. If she tells the story, she'll tell you about how Sadie said hello to her. And then from that moment on, she was like, oh, I'm hooked. Like, I will come back here. But we went to one service, and then immediately after, we went to the Creek Debate cleanup. And getting to know the people who actually care about the community, to see that Oak Life not only has values, but actually does work that adheres to their values, that does work that correlates to their values, was really important. And so we start coming back, and we just really started to feel connected, not only to the pillars of Oak Life, but to the people.
Beautiful connection. Got to stay connected. I love that. So how long ago was that?
I think it's 3 years. Yeah,
3 years.
3 years, or a little bit more than 3 years.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Leslie's been rocking with us tough for those 3 years, and even so much so has joined the leadership team and is now board chair, which is pretty awesome. It's like an elder board for the church. It's kind of like board of directors for a nonprofit organization, but yeah, we just call it, the board chair. So what kind of inspired and led you to take on such a task?
At first, when I got nominated for the board, I actually received multiple nominations. People came up to me and they're like, Leslie, we really think you should be on the board of Oak Life. And I was like, you know what? I have a really strong personality. I tend to only work well with others when I have to. So I don't know if that would be good for me. And they were like, no, we really think you should do it. We really think you'd be great. And so, I got nominated to be on the board, and I agreed to the nomination, and I voiced my concerns to anyone who heard them, and I wanted to be clear. And then I just fell in love with actually being a part of the magic, the behind the scenes magic that happens at Oak Life. Being able to honor and acknowledge the work that happens, how that impacts the community, to have input and understanding into why we do the things that we do, and to be able to participate in ideas and innovation to make Oak Life better. And I come from a project management background, so I started to see, we could be a little bit more efficient, a little bit better if we did this or if we did that. That ultimately, I think, led to being a leader inside of the leadership team, and then also being nominated for the board chair role.
Swag. I believe that's dope. I mean, I can attest everything she's saying is spot to the on, all that good stuff. Now, dealing with all that comes with being a board chair, some of the innovation, some of the leadership, and the experience that you brought, Oak Life has been going through, everybody, the world has been going through some throughs, right? And what has it been like to have that type of responsibility to, you know, be a part of the team as well as lead the team while both of the pastors are bringing newborns into the light, like the world, and people can't see each other? Like, how has that been for you personally?
I definitely see that ultimately everything we do is to really support the heart of Oak Life, which is our community.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have seen and where I feel like I can take action is that our pastors will work themselves tirelessly, even while they're caring for their own families, even while they're caring for their newborns, in order to be there and present and to really help where people need help and to be a listening ear when people have something on their hearts, and to just be available. And so I see that as the burden that they accepted as pastors, but also I want to come in beside them and say, okay, well, how can I support you? How can I help with like writing a letter or doing this email or making sure that you can also have a little bit of balance? And I think that's where each one of the board members also want to support both the mission of Oak Life and also as the pastors, because they're the main figureheads, and we want to make sure that they can, you know, they can also live and have some time to focus on their own well-being and their own mental health, because they're going through the pandemic as well. They're going through the 2020 civil rights uproar. They're going through having to, you know, take care of their families. They have family and extended family, and it's not like the world stops when these things happen. We have so many, and their response, what I've seen, their response is to give more, to do more. And so it motivates me to also want to do more and give more and be present and however I can help them. And I think that I've seen that from each one of the board members too.
Awesome. No, facts, all facts. I really appreciate that you sharing that. And that is super true. Kind of behind the scenes to the behind the scenes. I sprung this up on Leslie last minute. I said, hey, you just want to hop on a call? Let's just do something, right? Because we want to keep the momentum going. We want to stay as connected as possible in this time. And Leslie, thank you for just agreeing last minute to just hop on a call and do this with me, have this little conversation. And yeah, it's been really good. It's been really good to see you in action, to see the team in action, to see the Oak Life community be all that it is, not in spite of, but alongside everything that we're going through. The fact that we can hold together in the capacity that we have is awesome. And I appreciate you for steering the ship very, 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 very much. Any closing thoughts, ideas, words of encouragement, maybe?
I think that as a nation, as the world, and especially inside of our community, we're living through unprecedented times. Even with the pandemic and experiencing the Zoom bombing, and now this new visualization and also, I don't know, buzzword around racial inequity, which some of us may have been experiencing our whole life, but now it's this new, it's upfront for all of us. It can feel like a lot. It can feel like it's wearing each one of our down. It can feel like it's heavy on each one of our souls. And what I have appreciated, even without being perfect, is that Oak Life provides a platform and a place for community to happen. It provides a platform for people to be heard and to be listened to and to share their ideas. And it provides a space where we can lament together, where we can communicate with one another, show love for one another, even with, I think it's kind of cheesy, but it's cheesy and cute, even with giving each other those hugs, you know, it's beautiful. Yeah. Because I think what people miss most is seeing each other on Sunday mornings and having those lunches after, and being able to go to things that are happening during the week with one another. And we miss that not only from our Oak Life community, but from all of our communities. And the efforts that Oak Life has been putting forward to try to bridge that gap between being alone and being together with whatever thing that whatever we're producing every week is amazing, because we know that it's important for us to stay strong and stay focused, and also to remember that God is with us. And so having God with us means that each one of us need to be the God that we need for each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I dig it. I dig it. That's good stuff. Again, I appreciate you for sharing. Don't want to take up too much more of your time. Yes, just being in a space where we can experience God as much as we can, be it virtual or in person. I love it. I love it. So thank you for that. Today's episode is brought to you in part by the color green, because it's everywhere on the screen, right? And with that being said, Oak Life fam, love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Continue to live, love, fight, and follow as Jesus did and beyond. Peace out, fam. Love y'all. Bye.